In our last discussion, we read a journal entry from someone grappling with a profound and isolating truth. Here, we're going to peel back the layers of that text, moving beyond the literal words to explore its deep, mythic heartbeat. This isn't just about what the author wrote. It's about the ancient stories and universal human experiences that echo through his words. We're doing a mythopoetic meta-analysis, seeking the symbolic structures and archetypes that give this narrative its power. At its core, the journal entry is a modern retelling of one of humanity's oldest myths, the story of the solitary knower, the prophet or shaman burdened by an apocalyptic truth that no one else can see. The central conflict is a classic battle between gnosis, this secret, world-shattering knowledge, and what we can call blissful ignorance, the comforting illusion that everyone else lives in. It's the red pill versus the blue pill. But in this story, the red pill offers no escape, only a clearer view of the prison walls. Let's start with the antagonist of this story, the force of reality the narrator describes. This isn't a simple villain, it's a powerful, all-pervading archetypal force. It represents a fundamental flaw woven into the fabric of existence. We can see strong parallels to the concept of the Gnostic Archon or the Demiurge. In Gnostic traditions, the Archons were flawed, sometimes malevolent, cosmic rulers who created our flawed material world. This world, this reality, is a prison, a beautiful but ultimately false creation that traps the divine spark within us. The narrator's force functions in the same way. It's the source of all of humanity's anguish and troubles, and the reality everyone else inhabits is just a waking dream, a carefully constructed illusion. This concept also resonates deeply with the idea of Maya in Hindu and Buddhist philosophies. Maya is the cosmic veil of illusion, the grand deception that makes our transient, phenomenal world seem real and permanent. It blinds us to the true nature of reality, which is a unified, indivisible whole. Those caught in Maya are, as the journal entry puts it, unrelentingly and blissfully ignorant. They navigate the world successfully because they accept the illusion as reality. They don't see the strings being pulled by the puppeteer, they only see the dance. The narrator, however, sees the puppeteer, the Archon, the veil of Maya, and that sight is both a gift and a curse. This brings us to our protagonist, the lucky, unfortunate narrator himself. He perfectly embodies the archetype of the wounded shaman or the cursed prophet. In many traditional cultures, the shaman's journey begins with a profound wound, a sickness or a crisis that separates them from the tribe. This separation, this wound, is what grants them access to the spirit world, to a deeper reality. Our narrator's wound is his perception. His ability to see the truth isn't a superpower. It's an injury that isolates him from the rest of humanity. He has looked behind the curtain, and now he can't unsee what's there, which makes genuine connection almost impossible. He lives in a different cognitive reality from everyone else. We can also see him as a Sisyphus of consciousness. In the Greek myth, Sisyphus was condemned to eternally roll a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down each time. The narrator's task is psychological, not physical, but just as futile. He possesses this terrifying truth but is completely unable to combat the force or awaken others. He understands that trying to wake them up would be an act of cruelty, that the truth is simply too unbearable for them to handle. His sanity and theirs depends on this separation. So he is condemned to this agonizing, endless effort of holding a horrifying truth in complete isolation. The weight of this knowledge is his boulder, and every day is a new, lonely push up the hill. This leads us to the central moral dilemma of the story, a conflict that echoes one of the most famous thought experiments in Western philosophy, Plato's allegory of the cave. Imagine prisoners chained in a cave, facing a wall. All they've ever seen are shadows cast on that wall, and they believe these shadows are reality. Now imagine one prisoner is freed, dragged out into the sunlight, and sees the true world for the first time. The light is blinding, painful, but eventually he understands the truth. The dilemma is, what should he do? Should he go back into the cave to free the others? Plato suggests it's his duty to return, but he also warns that the other prisoners won't believe him. They'll think he's crazy. They'll find the sunlight, the truth, painful and terrifying. They might even try to kill him for attempting to destroy their comfortable reality. Our narrator faces this exact Platonic cave dilemma. He has seen the sun, the true nature of the force shaping their lives. But he concludes that to drag others out of their shadowy waking dream would be an act of profound cruelty. He explicitly states their sanity depends on remaining in the cave. This is where he diverges from Plato's hero. He makes the moral choice not to be a savior because salvation in this context is indistinguishable from damnation. The moral hazard is too great. The cure is worse than the disease. So trapped in this impossible situation, unable to act, unable to connect, how does he cope? The resolution he finds is fascinating, complex, and deeply unsettling. He moves away from trying to find an ethical solution and instead finds an aesthetic one. He discovers a dark, twisted form of sublimation. He can't connect with people based on their shared, illusory experiences, their jobs, their hobbies, their loves, because he knows it's all part of the dream. But he realizes there's one thing that is undeniably real: their suffering. The force itself is real. Therefore, the direct effects of the force, the sudden moments of anguish, confusion, and despair it causes in people, are also real. This becomes his bridge. He can't connect with the content of their lives, but he can connect with the affect of their lives, the raw emotional reactions they have when the illusion momentarily cracks. He finds a strange, perverse beauty and a fleeting sense of communion in observing these moments of pure, unmediated anguish. It is like two people who speak different languages, but can both understand the universal cry of pain. This is a concept the Greeks called a pharmakon, which means both poison and cure. The very thing that causes the suffering, the force, becomes the source of his connection. The poison becomes the cure. His joy is a morally ambiguous one, taken from watching the pure reaction to an unseen truth. For a split second, when someone is hit by a wave of inexplicable sorrow, their separate realities touch. He is no longer alone, because in that moment, they are both experiencing the realness of the force, even if only one of them understands its origin. This creates a profound paradox of connection. His moments of communion are achieved ironically through the shared shadow of the very thing that separates him from everyone else. It is a fleeting, almost antisocial form of sociability. The fundamental human need for connection is fulfilled precisely at the moment the other person is most disconnected from their own comfortable illusion. It's not a connection built on shared joy, mutual understanding, or common goals. It is a connection forged in the spectacle of shared, quickly forgotten, existential pain. It's a communion born from sorrow, a brief touch in the dark before the other person returns to their dream, and he returns to his lonely watch. And that is the tragic, beautiful, and deeply human core of this myth. It's the story of finding a way to live with an unbearable truth, not by changing the world, but by changing the way you see it, even if it means finding beauty in its darkest corners. These are the kinds of stories that stick with us because they speak to something ancient within us all.